I was gonna say the less intro we do, the better. It's just you just start arguing about this stupid stuff. Yeah, it seems out of nowhere. It's very like organic.
Oh wait, that was weird.
See how it actually pans
Well,
out.
I'm eager to discuss my first one.
Yes.
Which is, I think, a great healing item in a video game, or just in general, is the crunchy baby chick from Fable.
Oh my
God!
What?
In Fable,
that was literally my first one.
it's the same
Okay,
draft,
so
I'm
you go-
snagging
you
it.
go one person, yeah.
Okay, you guys just took like 2 of my list just now in the last minute.
Fable, you can end the game like evil or good, and
You're
every
such
time
a
you
bad
eat a baby
person.
chick, you gain bad guy points.
But like a lot of them.
yeah,
a decent
you
amount.
can, you get 2, but you can eat like 100 baby chicks because they're easy to obtain.
But how much healing does that actually do?
Not much.
Oh, not much.
Well, that's not a
you
good
pull it
healing
out,
item
and
then.
it goes tweet, tweet, tweet.
Yeah, they made a sound effect
Yeah.
specifically for consuming that
I mean,
item, and it's very.
They also made a
troubling.
fart emote in that game. So
Yes.
like
If that healed you, I would have picked that.
it doesn't. But you can't shoot lightning out of your ass.
Alright, we'll see that. A weak first overall pick is what I'll say. Of
Yeah.
all the healing items, I don't know.
It's not very healy.
I don't
It's
think
very
that's
slow.
I don't know
Okay,
that-
is that the only parameter we're going off of? Is how healy it is?
No,
not
it's
necessarily.
best
It's-
healing items is the category. I don't
The
know
one
if
that
it's
just
the
is
best
like,
one.
haha, I'm evil.
Yeah,
Not
that's
really
not the
great
best
healing
one.
items.
But that
We'll
has
see.
that has a unique identity compared to
Why are you
almost
arguing
any
for
other
him?
item.
It's
Because
like-
I'm also
Fucking
arguing for me.
You don't get that one.
Fuck off.
We need to stick together.
All right.
Okay, second overall pick
Is-
goes
okay.
to Luke.
Okay. All right. So one of my options is your enemy's hearts from the darkness. You ever play the darkness?
Oh, yeah, I played the Dark Knight.
FPS game where you got those two
Eels.
two
Yeah,
eel
eels.
demons, and then you run around
Eels.
and they like take out lights and they rip out their hearts and they got. And it's one of those
Eels
games.
is a good game.
It had like early ragdoll physics, so like
Yeah,
when
it's a
the
bad
eels
game.
would eat the. It's not a bad game. It's a good game. It is a very solid shooter
Wasn't it on
game.
the Wii?
It was not on the Wii.
Okay.
How dare
It
you?
was the Wii era.
No, they had like the way that the bodies would go flying around when you grabbed a heart was very, very fun. It was a game that really made you feel powerful and to an extent feel like you were like a prisoner of these like demons that are constantly tethered to you. It's a very well presented game, and it's one of the few FPSs that I would actually go back and play through again.
So that's how good the game is. Now about the healing item.
Yeah, I mean it's
story
It's
driven.
efficient. It's thematic. It's efficient.
Fair.
So like
Someone's
you
heart is
slaughter like
fun.
10 people, these could go boom, 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 boom. It's pretty quick, and the healing properties are. It is an effective healing.
I
item.
do
It's
feel
pretty
like
much the only one you get in the
I
game.
think it's getting a knock though because it's from a game that literally no one has ever heard of.
I've
Oh, I've
heard
heard
of
of
it.
it.
It was really high rated when it came out.
I don't know.
Lame.
I don't think it's aged well. It has not stood the test of time.
It's aged similar. Yeah, it did have a sequel. I didn't play the sequel though.
Well,
So my number one pick was Grandma's Soup from Wind Waker, and there's a couple of reasons. One, it heals you basically all your hearts up right away. I can't remember if it heals your magic, but it's free.
I believe it does.
It does really magic, but the main thing is it's free. All you have to do is go sail to Grandma, and the one drawback is you have to sail all the way back to Outset Island, but you're sailing all the way there to visit your grandma, and that is a nice, lovely thing to do.
It's always
yeah,
worthwhile.
Yeah.
That was nice, I guess.
Exactly.
I don't know the traversing the world in Wind Waker. That's like the one knock on that game.
Now,
that
see,
people don't like.
I mean, a lot of people don't like it. I actually do like it because I like just sailing in your boat and being like, oh, there's this island. I'm this far away from Grandma to get her delicious soup.
It's always about grandma.
That's why I've charted the
Everything's
entire
around
route.
I don't think you can try for us.
Yeah.
and say,
Grandma's
"Oh,
soup is the North Star.
20 leagues from Grandma's soup. I don't know why I looked at my wrist. That's all I That's all I watched does it all.
You had some soup on your wrist for
Yes,
the last
exactly.
meal. You eat it very messily.
I need to heal myself with this last bit of soup to give me the strength to keep sailing.
What are the contents of that soup?
It's hearty. It's a hearty
It's a
soup.
hearty soup.
It's got chunks in it.
Chunks?
It's got a lot of
so
stuff.
not
Like,
specific
like,
chunks.
No.
I mean, on the island, there's a lot of pigs, so I'm assuming there's some ham.
Yeah, there's also bird people.
Yeah,
Maybe
exactly.
you're eating
But
bird
they're
people.
not on that island.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
the mailman has to go to
You might
that.
go through
Right,
the-
the
You
mailman.
might go through the mailman. Yeah.
But it's got like potatoes and carrots,
Yeah.
probably.
It sounds pretty
Here's
good.
what the soup looks like. I've already put it on the screen for viewers. Hopefully.
Well, that's a strong entry. I also wrote Grandma's chicken noodle soup, but I meant in real life.
Oh,
But that's not
because
the
it
one I'm
heals
gonna
you.
do.
So pick number 4. Are you going with
No.
real grandma soup rather than virtual soup?
I'm gonna let his stand alone.
Fair enough.
But when he said it, I was like, oh. No, my number 1 is the Divine Blessing from Dark Souls.
Yep.
It is a single-use potion that instantly fully heals you, and it gets rid of curse, poison, and any sort of other negative effects. There's no downside to using it.
Are there any really persistent effects to that? Because you said it's a one-time use thing.
Yeah, it's consumable.
Okay, but you are you able to get more and more?
Yes.
throughout the
Yeah,
game?
but
Okay.
there's not many though.
Well, in the base game, I think you can get 10.
Oh, okay.
Oh well,
Which,
that's
I mean,
decent
but it also
quantity.
incentivizes like how good they are because you have to choose when to use it. It's like, oh, like I'm cursed because of all those fucking toads in the swamp, and I gotta go fight this boss. I might as well pop my Divine Blessing so that I'm good to go.
Does Divine Blessing get rid of curse?
I believe it does.
Oh,
I think it cures all status ailments.
Oh, in that case,
So
that's a great healing item. Because I never use them because they're so rare. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I must never use any rare
Yeah.
item, no matter how useful.
If it doesn't do curse, and I know it gets rid of both poison and toxic and bleed, like all the other status effects, I'm pretty sure it does curse too. Like that's the whole point of it.
So you're just basing this on effectiveness rather than like.
It's something that you
looks
really
and-
feel like it.
Well, it does
I'm sure the
everything.
sense of relief is.
Well, in
is
terms of healing,
quite
it heals
profound.
literally everything.
Also, in like a game like Dark Souls where everything is awful, it's like having any kind of like ultimate healing thing is incredibly good.
The only downside is there's so few of them, but again, I say that more as a strategic thing where you have to, it makes you a better player
There's
by
lots of-
choosing when to use
I
it.
feel like there's probably a lot of items where there's like 10 or fewer of them
Yes.
in Dark Souls.
Yes, there are several of those.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously people do hack more in, but that's its own thing.
But they if they were gonna hack something, they would choose to hack that healing.
Oh
item
yeah,
in particular.
no, in Dark Souls 1 online PvP,
Stop helping
the
him.
bane of everyone's existence was the guy with like 50
We're
stats.
all friends except you.
What the fuck? Where's the anger?
We're just having a discussion about a cool
Don't worry,
you
we're
go,
gonna
they'll be
save
able
all
to
the
don't you
anger.
worry.
I've made enemies. I'm here to fucking fight.
So we all agree that we're gonna just like shit on Alice.
whatever he says.
I hope so. It'll be hard to though because mine, the best healing item of
Oh,
all, my number
I guess
one
I'm
pick.
done then.
Yeah. What else do you have to say about that?
Oh, no, I was gonna swap.
Well, nothing. There you go.
Okay, cool. All right, fine.
My number one on the list. I was sad I got pick number 5 because I was like, it's gonna be gone, but it's not. It's a fairy from Zelda.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the most easy, low-hanging fruit you could possibly pick.
Yeah, it's the most iconic healing item. You
It's
can
not the most iconic.
What's
Just
that?
it's not the most iconic in
I
general.
think of Zelda, it absolutely
yeah,
is
Zelda,
more iconic
but-
than anything else. You you find another living being. This motherfucker's eating chicks. I'm consuming the soul of a mystical creature.
You don't
I'm putting
consume them. You just put them in your
You
pocket.
put them in your bottle, and then when you die, the fairy comes out and goes, bloop, 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 and you come back to life. One soul for another soul.
Oh, so it's not healing you; it's bringing you back to life.
That's still healing.
No.
Well,
It's Zelda, not the original one.
It does heal you back
Well,
up
not
to
the
like
original
either
one,
half
no.
the hearts or full hearts,
Yeah.
depending on how many you have. So
And
technically.
the other thing, you could also count it as like you meet a big fucking magical lady who lives in a flower or in a.
And she's
in
got
a-
really pointy
thing.
boobs.
Yeah. And then she just comes out and gives you some fairies, and it's like, that's cool.
But she screams at you, and it's
Yeah,
terrible.
that's
And
fine.
it's because you are a child and she's fully nude.
I love big
So,
ladies.
you know, there's-
So I don't know.
There's some issues there.
Exactly. Link is being tempted, and that will not do.
And
And she's
Everyone-
grooming Link.
Yeah, exactly.
You're taking candy from a pedophile. That's what you're doing.
Hey, you know what? The pedophiles, the really skilled ones, they're gonna be getting the optimal healing items. They want to be as appetizing as
Let's
possible.
never have this conversation.
Yeah, let's-
Now, counterpoint to the fairy, it's not soup. And therefore, it's like the worst. It's slightly less good Zelda.
It's also more magical though because soup you can only find from grandma, whereas as fairy you can crack
They're-
open
they're a
rock
dime a
or
dozen.
something.
Yeah,
and
there's
it's
numbers
like-
everywhere.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
really,
even
really
special.
good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
And you
saying.
have to take a life.
It doesn't
So
have
you're
to. That's
automatically
what I'm saying.
worse.
There's too many
That's
ethical
I'd say-
problems.
Yeah, yours is
with
the
this.
most unethical.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
not
I
even
think
the
Well,
conversation.
shit, I don't know.
the commenters down below will agree with me.
Yeah, okay.
And then
Yeah.
second, so now we're going back, snake
Okay,
draft the other way
so-
around. I got
Oh,
back to back,
I-
baby.
Yeah.
So
I just shit on it
the
again.
problem is, I was expecting both of my number 2s to be gone. I guess you kind of have to go with the wall meat from Castlevania, right? It's a secret. It's
Yeah.
fun to walk around and slap a wall and have a fully cooked rotisserie chicken pop
Yeah.
out of it.
The amount of rotisserie chickens I've eaten in my life.
Exactly. Can you imagine
Spawning
how
by
awesome
rotisserie
that would
chicken.
be if a rotisserie chicken could spawn out of a wall for you?
Just go over to Luke's scary wall, just
Exactly. It's
Yeah, this
iconic
wall's
looking.
filled with rotisserie chickens.
Healing
They're
items,
great.
but it
They're
smells.
great insulators.
Healing in that game is very, very limited as well. So
Yeah.
being able to know
That is
specifically
true.
where the wall chicken is again
Pretty
like
cool.
a sense of relief and it's the only way to get through.
Does it
some
work on
levels.
any wall?
No,
Not
no,
any
there's
walls,
just a few
no,
specific
no.
You have
areas.
to know where it
It's
is.
the same thing with Link's grandma with the soup, where it's like you can't find them everywhere. So if you're saying
Well,
that,
but-
if you're knocking me for Fairies being a dime a dozen, these are pointedly not.
Okay,
dime a dozen.
I'll concede that point.
They're not a dime a dozen, but it's also not like the soup because the soup is in one location at all times.
Yes.
And the wall meat is you have to search for it. You
Yeah.
know where Grandma's soup
But,
will be all the time.
but exactly, and that's like depends how you feel about it. That's like a sense of accomplishment to be like, I found a secret.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm not
I
taking
bought
that
the
part
pro guide from GameStop. and I know where the fault is now.
out. I used a Game Shark.
Yeah. Connor, please save us.
Okay. Well, my next one is a bit of a controversial pick. It is from a card game called Magic the Gathering, which
Okay.
I don't know if anyone here play?
I played once.
Black
Okay.
Lotus.
It was the most expensive card ever printed. Yes, it's
all I
at median
know.
price of $50,000 on the open market.
Okay.
Anyway, there is a artifact called the Etherflux Reservoir, where every time you cast a spell in a turn, you get 1 life for each spell you've already cast in that turn. Every card you play is a spell. So you get exponential life every turn when you have this thing on the field. The best effect of it, though, is you get to pay 50 life, and in a game of a certain format, you start with 40. You get to pay 50 life and deal 50 damage to one opponent.
So
So
it's
you
about
once you
building
get
it
over
up and then-
50, you can.
If I have 51
one,
life, I can
kill
ping you
them
for
instantly.
50 and instantly kill you.
No, that's pretty cool.
So, and it has a storm mechanic, so it keeps building on itself.
Wait, so wait, this mechanism of converting health into attack, that makes it almost not a healing item.
no,
in
but
this
it heals
context.
you too, right?
You
Okay.
could
You
heal
gain
them,
life every
can,
time you
but
play a
it's
spell.
also an
So
offensive
realistically,
But your argument is for it being used as an
no,
offensive.
I'm saying that's a bonus
Okay,
thing.
all right,
That's what its primary use is. But what it's in this context to use is I can play cheap spells and there's lots of recursion and all these different things that allow you to like infinite combo in a turn and get infinite life based on this one thing. Because I can play my first spell, get 1 life, play my next spell, get 2 life, play my next spell, get 3 life for that spell. So I've already got 6 life on a spell that I've gotten 1, right?
And then every turn.
And then I can just keep
Yeah.
doing that and getting crazy combos, and then automatically win the game by dealing damage to people. Now I know people that are better at Magic than me will know how to deal with this, but it's a pretty cool item.
It sounds like bullshit to me.
Well, most Magic the Gathering
Yeah.
is
Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah, it's like a bullshit.
That's
like,
what the
Hadron
game is.
Collider.
You know?
That's what the game is a lot of really expensive bullshit printed on cardboard.
Also, to pause for a second, your camera is flashing. Is that
Yeah, I
anything?
already looked at it. That's just saying it's focusing on your face, and it's just
Okay.
saying focusing on target.
Oh, should we disable autofocus? Or?
It's on me now.
That's okay. I just
Okay,
wanted
just don't
to know
move
it wasn't
forward or
turning
back
off.
too much.
It should probably be there because we're doing a lot of facing this way. But
Anyways.
It's fine. Okay, back to next pick, Rory, with your second pick in the draft.
Cool. Speaking of items that attack and heal you, mine is
grandmother's
Grandmother's other suit. No, Soul Edge from Soul Calibur 2. Specifically when Yoshimitsu uses it, because basically every character can get a version of Soul Edge. Because the whole point is that Soul Edge is a malleable weapon that will sue whoever uses it. But when Yoshimitsu, what it does is every time you hit them, it heals you the same amount of damage you've done. And so like it's already impossible to like heal in any other fashion in that game. All you're doing is attacking until your health bar goes down. So to have an item that heals you while hurting them and there's nothing they can do to stop you from doing it is obscenely bullshitty. Also, Yoshimitsu has a lot of like spammable, hard to block attacks.
Especially in Soul Calibur 2.
Yeah, exactly. He's so
Is
annoying.
Yoshimitsu the weird worm guy?
No,
Volga.
that's Volga.
Oh, right.
Yoshimitsu's the clown demon master.
Yeah, he's got a master
Pogo
pogo
sticks
Yeah,
on
awesome as
sword.
pogo
Oh.
stick. And he already has his own healing move where he just does like a little cross-type thing and he goes like, and he just heals himself that way. So he's already just like a healing he's got a healing power as it is, and the weapon just does more.
He's also the only character in the entire game series that can get double KOs because he can kill himself
He can
and
kill
you
himself,
at the same
yes.
I
time.
was gonna. Well,
With
does
a
something
seppuku
happen
move.
if you stab yourself
Yes.
with Soul Edge? Do you
No,
heal?
because it
I
only
don't
does
think,
the,
because your HP goes down too fast, so I don't think
Yes,
it'll actually
okay.
replenish in
You
time.
know, point against, it's not the Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur does heal you, but I think it only does it for Shangla.
yes,
Yeah.
because it's her signature right now.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Good for her. I agree.
Whereas, yeah, the Soul Edge will heal for a couple players. I know for Cervantes, you take damage, but it heals when you hit someone. So you're constantly bleeding out, but then you hit someone, and then you get health back. So.
Yeah.
Does it have the cool eyeball on it?
Yes.
Yes, they all do have eyeballs.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I was hoping it wouldn't, but that was the only thing I could think of that would potentially take some points away from that. Luke.
I just also want to say I didn't realize you were doing they're ranked already. Like you guys are doing your number one pick. I didn't.
Well,
know
you
that.
should have picked the one you thought was
okay.
good earlier.
Whatever.
How'd you take
I think
such a list
all
of
my
really
picks
good
are number
ideas?
one picks. So
Okay.
here's my other
That's
number
exactly.
one.
Alright.
I will go with Pumpkin from RuneScape.
Why pumpkin?
Because the image of a guy just standing in a crowded plaza, just eating a whole giant ass raw pumpkin is really funny.
Yeah, but in Skyrim you get to eat way funnier things.
I know, and I
Lots
consider
of
that
quantities.
like cheese wheels is the classic
An
Skyrim
entire
example.
cheese wheel. Yeah.
But I went with pumpkin because I felt like the same category of healing item, and that was like the original one for me for when I was younger.
I think they dramatically undersold how heavy cheese wheels are in
Yes.
Skyrim.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a tangent, but it just pisses me off. Like, oh, this cheese wheel, it's like 5 pounds. No, a real fucking cheese
Yeah.
wheel is like
Yeah,
this big and like 120 pounds.
Yeah, your arteries will clog up and you will die no matter how much healing you've just done.
Exactly. So, I disagree with the cheese wheel. Anyway, I have nothing to say on pumpkins. I don't play RuneScape.
Pumpkin's
I'm just-
famously light as well.
I'm just against
Very easy
gourds
to-
in general.
Pumpkins have great healing properties in RuneScape. So regardless of their
How many
real
can,
world
how many can you
nutrition,
carry?
I forget. It's
'Cause
been a long
they're
time.
pretty heavy.
Stacks
in
of
real
like
life.
99.
That's too many pumpkins, man. They're heavy and they're
Do they
bulky.
have weight limits for inventory?
RuneScape? I don't think so.
It's no.
Bad game.
Yep.
Bad item.
I like that you brought a different type of game into the discussion.
Well, so did Connor. Connor
Unlike
brought the magic.
you.
God
I don't
damn
even
it.
remember- I don't even
More
remember what
animosity.
you did. What did you
Make
do?
your last pathetic pick.
Oh, okay, fine. Let's see here. I don't have.
So does
not
that.
recall any other ones.
Well,
He gets both.
we'll see.
Let's see
We'll
here.
see. Just gonna shut it down. No, we're done.
I'm going for the Luke Elias in this one. I'm going for Dead Rising, orange juice.
Oh, okay.
Orange.
I will say I did have another item picked from that same game.
Was it the coffee creamer?
No,
Was it Zombrax?
no.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyways, it's great because it heals a lot, and you can read books in the game that help you learn how to heal better from juice.
Yeah, basically,
Which is
like,
great.
So it's a pyramid scheme. Because
they're not pamphlets, they're books.
well, hey, have you seen the self-help section? There's a lot of bullshit in there.
I don't need to look at that because I'm
Exactly.
doing great.
Your meal for healing right now is you're going to stuff a raw bird into your mouth and
No,
then
it's a live
listen,
bird.
a live bird. And then
Especially
wash it
when
down
this is
with
an
orange
apocalypse, you don't have the luxury of options.
Okay, so why orange? And of all items from that game, why orange juice in particular? Just because it's such an intensely, because it heals so much, because it heals like 8.
Well, I
blocks
imagine
of
you get a
health or whatever.
stomach.
I have acid reflux.
I am a person who has
stomach.
diagnosed acid reflux.
Yeah.
I can't drink a lot of orange juice. How is this healing item gonna help me?
Is it
Well, you gotta read the books.
is it a pulp orange juice or is it regular?
You know, I don't know. He just goes.
That's the important question.
It doesn't.
I'm
There's
putting
no
it-
pulp animated in it. It's just orange.
Okay,
So-
that's what I want to know. That would be a big no-no.
But then
for
is it
that
orange beverage? Because that ain't real orange juice.
It does say
It does-
orange juice.
It's classified as
when you
orange
pick it
juice.
up,
So
Okay.
as long as they're not misclassifying.
There's FDA legalities regarding that.
Of course,
So.
for good reason.
And in the zombie apocalypse, that's what's important. What the FDA has said on the container.
Okay, so that's everyone's items, which are gonna pop up on the screen right now. Pew 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 pew. I think yours are dog shit. I think you have easily the worst. I
Yes.
think this is
At
terrible.
least
You know,
It's a great
Luke,
one.
you need to watch your mouth because I think yours are also bad. All I'll say is yours are bad. I don't like yours at all.
You can't stop me. The other Dead
I
Rising
can't.
one
I'm editing this.
was
I can't
frozen
stop you.
pizza.